Today I'll be walking you through my discovery process for my vocabulary app, Wordflow. Without further ado, let's begin. Meet Lazarus Edwards, or Laz for short. He's our archetype user. At 26, Lazarus is a dedicated full-time medical student in Houston and a part-time medical assistant at a community clinic. His ambition to earn a medical degree and share his knowledge with patients and community members fuels his need for rapid vocabulary acquisition. Lazarus' life is a balancing act. He juggles an 8-hour medical school schedule with a 4-hour job 5 days a week at a clinic. This leaves him with little downtime to unwind, socialize, or even study. His demanding routine only allows for 5 to 10 minute study windows throughout a typical day. Therefore, he needs an effective solution to enhance his vocabulary acquisition. Here's a short clip of Lazarus telling us his needs when studying new vocabulary.
As a medical student, I need an efficient vocabulary tool that has a focus on helping me optimize my learning and help me with targeted vocabulary so that I'm more efficient when studying.
Further investigation into his pain points revealed that Lazarus' relentless schedule leaves him with little time to recover, impacting his class attention span and exam performance. The strain also manifests in his workplace, affecting his energy levels and patient attention. When he does find time to study, his current tools fall short in aiding retention, and he struggles to gauge the effectiveness of his study techniques. His study materials consist of handwritten note cards and basic apps with free trial limitations. I mean, who doesn't find pop-up ads both valuable and informative? Lazarus, a medical student, needs a way. My problem statement is Lazarus, a medical student, needs a way to study more efficiently with his limited time, and time management is being compromised. Lazarus' success will be measured by an improvement in his vocabulary retention and an increase in his available leisure time. Our hypothesized solution is Wordflow. Wordflow is a mobile application designed to address unique challenges faced by busy individuals such as medical students and professionals in healthcare fields. This innovative app aims to alleviate the specific pain points encountered during vocabulary learning. Its goal is optimizing study sessions and improving vocabulary retention. Before sketching, I decided on the elements to bring my proposed solution to life. I started by creating user flows for two main features, creating a deck, and as you can see here in the top right, there is a sticky note user flow plan that I had mapped out on my window, and the right shows a user flow chart that I had made in Figma that contains more detailed information. The thick black arrows represent the happy paths to completing the function. And the second one was creating a burst. And the same follows for this. To the left, there is a hand-drawn sticky note user flow chart, and then to the right is a more detailed version with the happy paths. After that, I then mapped out the architecture I intended to build for each user flow. I iterated multiple times on the visual pattern to balance usability and flow. My goal wasn't visual perfection, but to create an effective and intuitive visual pattern. Then I redrew each user flow path on my iPad because I knew there would be several undos and edits, and I used iPhone templates to understand proportion and accessibility. The accessibility part is represented by the diagonal lines that follow an arc path from the left to the right, and that pretty much shows the three zones that shows the mobility of a thumb. The lower right being easy for a thumb to access, the middle being kind of easy, and the top right being very hard for it to access, top left being very hard to access. Despite my confidence in the features derived from my research, I knew they needed to be user tested. I couldn't test vocabulary retention without long-term testing, but I could test efficiency with a mobility test. I decided to test 4 aspects of my solution to make sure the app was simple to navigate. Combining specific tests and human user participation would help validate my features and assess the solution's usability. The 4 tasks were progression through the creation of a new deck, access the profile menu, progress through the study deck function, and access the help system. As I embarked on the test, I prepared for the possibility that my hypothesized features might not translate well into practice. Initially, I wasn't happy with the significant issues I discovered, but I knew these setbacks would bring me one step closer to a viable solution for Lazarus. For the first test, we told the participants that the scenario was, you have been given a medical term list to study for an upcoming test. You will need to create a new deck. And as you can see, in the top, there are the hand-drawn wireframes or prototype, and they represent the navigational menu consisting of one button, the done button, and a radio dial feature. The participants thought the menu icons were way too small to see, making the participants unable to see where they were going. And we hypothesized that if we were to increase the size of the icon or include a title somewhere on the screen when hard pressed, the alteration should allow older and newer users to see the menu navigation options they have. For the second test, we told the participants that the scenario was, you have recently changed your email, you have recently changed your email address provider and you need to update the address you have listed on the app. And as you can see, the same wireframe sketches, and we hypothesized, and those wireframe sketches, the participants noticed that there wasn't a functional exit button for the users to escape the menu if needed, and some users lost their progress, which was catastrophic. But we suppose that if we were to add an exit function or back function with larger icons for the menu, the alteration should allow users to exit the menu without losing progress. For the third test, we told the participants that the scenario was, you have recently finished setting up your study deck, but you need to review your cards to make sure nothing is missing. And the users noticed that, we noticed that during the test, some user paths led to a dead page, which was a catastrophe, and the cards didn't possess an edit button anywhere, which also was a catastrophe. But we did hypothesize that if we were to add an edit button to each card and also create an add button, we could allow them to have this ability to change the cards if they needed to. And then we also went back and checked the site path to see if there are any other dead pages. The fourth and final test, we told the participants that they've encountered an error and they need help resolving the issue with a help assistant. The participants noticed the help assistant wasn't accessible anywhere in the app except for the dashboard. As you can see on the second wireframe from the left, the help assistant is indicated by a tab with an arrow button pointing to the left. And as you can see anywhere else, it's not there. It's not on the first wireframe sketch, and it's not on the third wireframe sketch. It's only on the dashboard. But we hypothesized that if we were to add a help button to give the menu navigation, if we were to add a help button to the menu navigation, this change could give users a way to help return to their original task and get the help they need. While some errors were straightforward to fix, others required a thinking of the app's navigational flow. It required a rethinking of the app's navigational flow. Some processes were too complex in hindsight, and certain areas certain areas confused the participants. With these issues discovered and I hypothesized, revised, I again iterated on my original designs. We retested the 4 tasks after creating the wireframes and added them back to the prototype. One of the original test participants was available for the retest and could perform all tasks without seeking help from me. encountering only minor issues that could be resolved with UI tweaks. The design process has given me a deep understanding of design teams' challenges across all industries. I've learned that for each and every single feature that's updated on the App Store, there is a very long and detailed process that goes into work for each of those features. And this course has been overwhelmingly positive with few cons. And I wish we could have used other methodologies, but this methodology has proven that it's lengthy, but I feel like it's prepared us to conquer any other methodologies in the future, such as the diamond or agile method. I realized that I need to focus more on the inspirational part of the design process, as success hinges on thorough research and understanding of user problems. And I also believe I need more practice in presenting. Um, it's too early in my educational journey to distinguish my failures from my successes, but I've enjoyed sharing my findings with you during this presentation, and I want to thank you for listening, and hopefully you have a nice day. And if you have any questions or concerns, or any points you think I missed, please contact me on our community Slack group. Thank you, and have a nice day.